Hello and welcome to the Philippines. We've got John and Cindy here today. We're going to do a real quick interview from Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, Filipino on Filipina.
Yes.
And from Phoenix, Arizona, USA. Anyway, they've got a YouTube channel, and they've just got back into the Philippines and had some interesting time. So we're going to have a little bit of an interview and discussion here, talk about their experiences. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to you guys, and I'll have questions as we go along. And you can tell us a little bit about, first of all, you've got a YouTube channel. Tell us about that, how you guys met, a little bit about how you ended up back here.
Well, we actually met because I scuba dive.
No.
Yeah.
That I had went through a divorce and everything, all the dust had finally settled. And so I wanted to book a kind of a once in a lifetime scuba trip. And most of the Pacific Islands are kind of expensive to go to for diving. And a friend of mine from work that happened to be a Filipino kept on talking about the Philippines. And his big tagline was, you know, a 2-week stay will cost you less than a plane fare there. And so I started looking into it, and he wasn't quite literally right, but really close. And so I booked a trip to Cebu, or to the Philippines. And I actually booked the trip into Manila, and started doing some research online. And we met through a tourist type forum that I'd asked about going scuba diving in Cebu. She said, "Well, where in Cebu?" Cebu. I didn't realize it was a Cebu city as well as a Cebu province.
Right.
Yes.
So, and that let her get an opening, and we started talking, and one thing led to another, and we actually first hooked up in what?
Messenger. No. Is it Yahoo Messenger?
No, what? We hooked up at the beginning of July.
Yes, July 2014.
14, yeah.
And by September, the purpose of the trip had changed from going scuba diving to making this permanent.
Oh, okay.
And then I came out in January for
Visit.
about a 15-day stay.
Yeah.
It was just a hair over 2 weeks. And we got married.
Okay.
You arrived in January 12 of 2015, and we get married in January 15.
Yeah.
3 days.
I wasn't even in the Philippines 3 days.
Yeah.
We just did a church ceremony that I had done the homework by that point, and realized that if I got married, for her to come over on a spousal visa could be a lot harder.
Yeah.
And so we did a church service so that, you know, her family got to see her get married, but didn't register any paperwork, so she was still able to come over as a fiance
Yes,
visa.
Oh.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we used Visa Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Visa Journey. That it's an online forum that helps people with visa issues, and they help it for all over the world. But they've got different sub forums for each country.
Yeah.
And on the timeline for the Philippines to the U.S., last I checked, we had the third fastest record.
Oh, really?
From the time the government officially acknowledged paperwork until she had visa in hand was 55 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got proven.
And so that was really, you know, godsend on getting that one approved so quickly. I came back on the 23rd of January.
Yeah.
And even staying extra for Mother's Day, she was in Phoenix May 13th.
Oh. Shock.
So,
Yeah.
and then we were in Phoenix for 2 years? 2 or 3 years?
3 years.
3 years before we made another return trip.
Yeah.
And we came for the month of May. We came for about an 8-week stay.
Okay.
And at that point, it was way easier to get in because the airline asked about it, and we just said that, you know, she's a Philippine citizen, so
It's a lot
they knew that we
easier.
were, you know, that we were going to get the Balik Bayan visa because I was here past that 30-day, that magical 30-day
Okay.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, it was quick. Like it, I don't know if it's just our fate or destiny.
Yeah, it was
Because it
definitely
was so
godsend
quick.
that one, because
Yeah, and then my perspective of going to the Phoenix is like it's a lot of transition. You know, like
Mhm.
it's coming from a tropical country to
a desert.
Very, very hot and very dry.
yeah, so it was a lot. It was a lot to take in. There's a lot of challenges, but I'm also grateful to him because the transition was easy. It was really easy for me because he was able to find a lot of Filipino community out there and help me to get connected to the right people because he's like you're like a politician, like, oh, there's like, here's Filipino here, Filipino here, Filipino. Yeah, so there's just a lot of Filipina that I was able to map, and then suddenly I decided like, okay, I need to find the Filipinas that would fit in my personality because yes, I have hundreds or 200s, but it does not fit in my personality. So maybe 2 to 5 or at least 10.
Yeah. And we lucked out, or I lucked out, or however you want to say it, because I'd lived there for 4 years in
Yeah.
the house and didn't, or about 3 years, and didn't know any Filipinos in the neighborhood. And
Yeah.
lo and behold,
There's like 15.
there's like 15 Filipinos
Oh,
within
wow.
a mile of where we live.
Yeah.
And you made really good friends with 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah. Really good friends.
Yeah, matter of fact, just before we left, that her birthday was September 3rd. That we went up to Sedona for a kind of a semi-girls weekend,
Oh,
Yeah.
and there were 5 that were with us.
Yeah, 5.
oh,
So it was really interesting. And then you have a question about why we have a YouTube channel, Phil's
Yeah.
Phoenix. So so that's our little background. We just don't wanna yes. So yeah, we have our YouTube channel called, or we name it Phil's the Phoenix because I'm from the Philippines.
Right.
Now from Phoenix.
Yeah,
Right.
together. Like, that's our intro.
All right, we gotta do the intro.
So,
You brought this up,
And why? Okay, I'm from the Philippines.
and I'm from Phoenix.
Together,
we're Phil's to Phoenix. 2 countries.
One heart.
Welcome
Welcome.
to our interview.
We have that one. Okay, so why we created a channel? What's the purpose of that?
A little bit of it, I kind of went through a little bit of a life change that I want to, hurting myself at work bad enough that it was a career-ending injury. And I needed to find something to do because most of my hobbies that I had up until that point just weren't able to be continued. And at church, one of the people started talking about doing photo video, and it's something I kind of had a little bit of an interest in all the time, but just never really got involved with it. And
Yeah.
that they helped me get started, and I started looking into YouTube, and we started making a channel that a lot of it was also for so that we could post it for her family, so that it kind of gave a way for them to see what we did and feel, how she was handling it, things
Yeah.
we'd go out and do.
So that's why we normally have Chica Chica, because it's just our day-to-day updates, and then we
Talking.
have the talking, and we have like a culture, like what's the places that we went, or places are.
yeah, I've seen a
going
couple of your
to.
videos. You're up in the mountains, up down south where your parents live, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Your parents. And,
So yeah.
so are you guys here for good now? Pretty much. Is this a
Yeah,
permanent
basically.
move?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It,
Things can always change.
Yeah, in the beginning, 5 years ago, we decided we will move back in the Philippines supposedly in 2021, right?
Yeah, we were gonna
Because you
move
will
back after we
retire.
retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told him, let's be honest, you told him, we're moving back to the Philippines whether you like it or not.
Actually, it's to be honest, it's not
No,
exactly.
I'm just joking.
You
Yeah.
didn't dislike the U.S., but it definitely was never got to be home for you
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Okay, there's
No.
so much opportunity in the U.S. Right?
Uh-huh.
either. There is.
There are like work and everything, but I like U.S. so much. People will say American dream. Yeah, okay, I was able to work there for almost 5 years. I got my American citizen. I got my master's degree. I was able to hook up with a lot of nonprofit organization, help and volunteer a lot of nonprofit organizations. There are just so much opportunities out there, and you know, like it got to the point that you need to start thinking about minimalism and simplicity, and to get to the point that the stress level is so high,
It is. Yeah.
you know. And then I got to the point that the reality is, what do I really want? What do we really want for our life? You know, it got to the point for me, it's like before I'm just so hesitant to, no, I don't want to go back because I have my career is just this and this and I got so much opportunity, and then later on I decided like, yeah, it's like I like to spend time in the Philippines because one thing is the place, you know, I love here in the Philippines, like going to the province, enjoying the
It's a different culture.
the culture, scenery, and I enjoyed like, I want to spend more time also with my family. That's one thing, and I want to spend more time with my husband because over 2 years I've been so busy, like work and my school and friends and volunteering. So it got to the point like your priority, you know.
He comes home and you say, "Who are you?"
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're planning to move here permanently, right?
Yeah, as of a month ago, it was still being called
Extended
a
vacation.
Now you bought a multi cab.
We bought a multi-cab.
Yeah. From
But that's
Toyota.
something her and I talked about.
Yeah.
And transportation here, especially in the provinces, can be a little bit of a challenge. You know, trying to get into
Especially if you're up in the mountains.
trying to get into Cebu, it normally cost us about $100. You know, by the time we got a cab or something like that, or we were able to. And I got a bike last trip, and for her and I, the bike is more than good.
Okay, yeah.
If it's not raining.
And she brought up that if we wanted to go on a vacation, you know, when she got to the U.S., she got her scuba certification,
Yeah.
and so you know, you dive. That's a lot of gear to go on a bike for two people, right?
True, I agree. Yeah.
And so, and then if Mama and Papa want to come with us, then we got one of the club cab, or what do they call them here? Dual
Dual
cab.
cab.
It's a crew cab.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
four-door
You got
crew
seats
cab.
in the back.
Right.
Seats in
Yeah.
front and the back, and then you got a little, like a pickup thing in the back.
Right, and it's-
for carrying something.
It's actually a Japanese surplus vehicle.
Yeah.
They get them in as parts, and there's a place on Lapu-Lapu Island that they go assemble them and convert them from the right-hand drive to a left-hand drive. And
Yeah, I've seen it's real pretty yellow color. Right,
We don't have a choice.
I'm sorry. I pulled this pic off their YouTube channel.
It's the last
The only one left.
color left.
we'll send you a photo. You can
Oh,
include it in the
I've seen
video.
the video you had. Yeah.
But it's actually a really nice. We paid. You mind if we share?
I don't mind.
Okay. We gave $290 for it, and
290,000
pesos.
pesos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the exchange rate works out.
It's
on that.
like close to
Exchange rates.
$6,000.
That was about $6,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a little Suzuki 660 3-cylinder in it.
Yeah. Everything.
Turbo.
Every motor here is really small.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but it'll do.
You can get up 4-wheel drive, or
Yes.
so you can get up when it rains and it's all greasy going up the
Yeah.
muddy roads. You might be able to get up.
Should be able to get up in.
Yeah. Depends on how
It's
steep
an
it is.
automatic transmission. That Cindy just got her license before we left.
Oh.
The,
Interesting.
although the traffic here is way more congested, the speeds in Phoenix just freaked her out,
No.
Yeah.
and it took her basically the 5 years of being there to get comfortable enough to go through a driving school and get her driver's license.
Yeah.
And that was part of the deal, is that, you know, you got the license, we'd get we'd get a four-door vehicle of some kind. And multi-cabs are kind of the mule of the Philippines. They do all kinds of work. This one's still got a little bed in it, and by little I mean it's about a 4 square foot, about 2 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah.
They're about 4 foot by 4
You can
foot.
throw some luggage and whatever.
You can throw some luggage, and you can throw some basic stuff in
A little
there.
bit of freight.
We mainly get it for practicality reason, like it's not so expensive, it's not also cheap, it's for like multiple purpose. Like, okay, we could go on trip and we could put all our luggages, we could bring my family or other extended family and put it in the back,
Right,
you
right,
know,
right,
so
right.
it would be
The ones you
then-
don't like, you put in the back.
and then
Papa's already been looking to make seats for the back.
yeah,
But yeah, it was actually kind of a neat experience. That
And you were, when you traveled, you flew in here. I know because you emailed me. You sent me a message.
Right.
You were in town and you were at what?
Parkland.
Kind of. You did your virus test. You
yeah,
got
the
both
PCR
negative.
at the
And you were
airport.
stayed at Park Lane for how many days?
We actually stayed there for a few extra days.
Okay.
You only have to book a room for 2 days when you're coming in.
yeah,
And we came in on a Thursday or Friday. We came in on a Friday.
yeah, Friday. And
We
then
came in
there
on a
was
Friday, and we booked it through till Tuesday.
Mhm.
I had some dental issues that I needed to deal with.
Okay.
And it was going to cost, my copay was going to be about $1,500 back in the U.S.
Oh.
yeah,
And so I called Green Apple Dental in Ayala Mall. That I had ran across him on another blogger that he goes there every time he comes here. He's had several crowns done. He's had quite a bit of work done. And they actually do dental tourism. They've got an office in Newport City and at Manila, right across the street from the airport.
Okay. Yeah, because you went down. They live in what, Sabonga,
yeah.
Sabunga.
south of here. What is that? An hour and a half? 2 hour drive?
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half, 2
Yeah.
hour drive, depending on traffic.
Right. And when you went down there, you had to go under quarantine again once you got down there?
Well,
Once
yeah,
you
that was
got
kind of
there?
a.
Oh yeah, the last time, yes. We
That's
did
what the 14-day quarantine
14
was.
days
Uh-huh.
quarantine, yeah.
So they didn't retest you. They just said
14 days.
you
Yeah,
arrived,
we only had to
automatic
do
14-day quarantine.
Yeah.
We only had to do the 14-day quarantine. There was an OFW that came in that I guess Cindy knows. They made her quarantine, and there's a couple other people they made quarantine in the community center.
Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's basically an outdoor area.
Right, right.
And this OFW, she was not a happy camper on this, because when she flew in, by the Bureau of Quarantine, you have to get tested. So she had a PCR test, and it came out clean, or it came out negative. She goes into Sabunga, they make her retest,
Oh,
it comes out negative, and then they said, okay, we'll see you in 14 days. And they made her redo the 14-day quarantine with 2 negative PCR tests within about 72 hours of each other.
oh wow.
And so, like we were talking about earlier, that there's rules out there, but each local government unit has their own interpretation and take on them.
Yeah.
They keep changing.
Because right now, Cebu's supposed to be, once when you come in and are here, that the other communities are supposed to accept you. But that's
But they
not
don't have to.
necessarily the case.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well-
you made it to Cebu anyway, so that's
We made it to Cebu. It wasn't too bad. A lot of people have asked on our channel about what's going on. So
Yeah.
we're going back to Cebu tomorrow, and probably Monday we're gonna sit down and do a video to hopefully get posted Tuesday morning. That it was a step-by-step process from back in January when we were looking to come out
Yeah.
to actually getting, you know, boots on the ground
Oh.
in the Philippines again.
Yeah.
And because it's been almost a comedy of errors the entire time.
All right, well, very good. I appreciate you guys contacting me, and here when you're back in town contacting me. We're going to go out and have some eat my meal someplace, and this time it's on me. You guys bought last time.
Go find some Philippine street food.
All
If there's
right.
any open.
So anyway, thank you, and good luck with your plans going forward and with your channel.
Thank you so much also for this
Okay.
opportunity, for allowing us for this interview.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate this.
Very good. All right, very good. Thanks.
Bye-bye.